In this lesson, you will be using what you've learned about the graphing calculator and row operations to solve story problems. You will need your book, your graphing calculator, and a pencil.
Problem. So Jack is selling t-shirts. We've got 3 sizes, small, medium, large, and it tells you on the first day what he did, on the second day what he did, and on the last day what he did. So what you need to do is you need to write a system of equations, defining your variables, deciding what letter you would like to use for small, medium, and large, and write a system of equations, and then you can use your choice of methods, either Kramer's rule, matrix inverses, or reduced row echelon form to find the solution. Make sure that you specify that your variables stand for the cost and not the number of what he sold. So pause this video. On your paper you need to define your variables. You need to write a system of equations. You need to decide what method you're going to use and specify which one, and then go ahead and find your solution, and then you can press play and see if you're right. The system of equations that you should have written looks like this: 3x plus 2y plus z equals 69.75, x plus y plus 4z equals 76.75, and 2x plus 3y plus 5z equals 125. The answer for your system of equations: small t-shirts are $10.75, medium t-shirts are $12, and large t-shirts are $13.50. So for the story problems on your worksheet, you can do the same thing where you set up your system of equations defining your variables, and then you may choose the method that you would like to use. Write your answer. You need to also make sure that you check and remember what that means, that you have verified that that really does work. And so in this answer, you need to go back and check these answers, make sure that you understand that they do work.
You're now going to pause the video and do the last problem in the lesson. You are going to write the system of equations about Abby, and then you are going to use row operations and your graphing calculator to solve the problem, and then come back to the video and make sure you got it right. Hey, you should have paused the video and done the problem, and now you're just checking back to make sure you did it right. In the question, Abby was in charge of getting snacks for her party. We tell you about how she went to Costco, and then she saw her friend, and then her other friend, and so they bought all this stuff, and you're going to write equations. First, we need to define the variables so that we know exactly what it is we're looking for. Okay, remember that we're looking for the price, and so I'm going to say that specifically when defining the variables. Okay, the system of equations comes next. Okay, the system of equations, the first equation I've got for what Abby did at Costco. The second equation is for what Bob bought at Costco. And the third equation is for what Abby's friend bought at Costco. So you have one equation for each of those situations. You're now going to enter into your calculator the augmented matrix. So this is the augmented matrix you're going to enter. This is a 3x4 matrix, so you need to make sure you tell your calculator that's what you're doing. Okay, and I'm going to just assume that we're calling it matrix A in your calculator. Then you're going to use the reduced row echelon form. So remember how you find that on your calculator. You do the second and then matrix, and then you go over to the operations and you find that in your menu. And then you do matrix A and then equals, and then you're going to get your answer. The answer you should get in your calculator, you've got your identity matrix, or that part of it on the left. And then you've got your 3 items: cookies, because that was your first variable, the fruit, because that was your second variable, and then the soda, which was your third variable. So now we're able to say that the cookies were $15 for a tray of cookies, $18.75 for a fruit tray, and $12.50 for a case of soda. You can check that by putting it back in. It's going to work for all 3 of those situations. So not just one of them, but all 3. If it didn't work for all 3, then it's not right. So you can go ahead and try that, but then you can go on to your homework and do more practice.